The next salad extra recipe, if you like, is going to be the cashews with maple syrup and tamarind. So if you remember when we talked about ingredients, I had this tamarind soaking and I showed you the block. So half a block gets soaked with 1 cup of water. And then we need to put that in a bigger bowl so that we can kind of break it up as well. Okay, so after it's been soaking for a while, it should just break up nice and easy like that. Definitely something to get your kids involved with. And you'll start to notice the water turns to this paste, and then we're going to strain out all of that extra fibre and all the seeds, even though it's supposed to be a seedless block. And you know, once you've got this paste, it's great. It's got that kind of sweet sour flavour and goes great with maple syrup. And if you also put a little bit of olive oil in there and salt, you can make a nice dipping sauce for crudité, or for like a. I'm going to show you some little kind of summer Thai wraps later on towards the end of the course. Okay, so we'll just transfer that over to our nut milk bag, or you can do this in a sieve as well. It's a little bit more tricky in a sieve. Okay. And I am aware that this looks particularly disgusting. And then what you're left with, we're going to throw away, but I just want to show you. It's all that fibre. So you get these little stones. And then look up tamarind on the internet and just have a look at the actual fruit itself, because it's got all this stringy fibre in it, and it will help you appreciate it a bit more. So obviously that's going to, it's just going to need a bit of a wash. And for this recipe, we actually only need 1/4 cup. Okay, so it's about 1/4 cup. So the rest of it I'll keep. And put this 1/4 cup back. Now the cashews we've got here are dry. So cashews don't have the skins on, so they therefore haven't got the enzyme inhibitors in them. But a lot of people like to soak them just to kind of make them easier to work with, which I do actually for a lot of recipes. But the thing with that is if you soak them and then use them wet in this recipe, the sugar is going to dry around them, and then the nuts will never actually get dry inside, so they'll always be slightly soft. So if you do want to soak them before use, to whether you want to clean them off or you just like getting into the habit of soaking nuts, make sure you dehydrate them first so that they go dry into this mixture. And you can do them whole. I mean, these are cashew pieces anyway. You can do them kind of like pieces like this, or you can chop them up a little bit as well. And that maple syrup is going to give a nice crunchiness. And I'm also going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so we mix that round, make sure we cover that whole thing. Cover all those individual cashews. And then once they're mixed in, just have a little taste test, and if it's not sweet enough for you, just use a little bit of extra maple. Or you could do another couple of pinches of salt. Salt will actually bring out the sweetness and bring out the flavour more. Okay, so they are looking fantastic. Let's just have a little taste. That's good. So these, you know, we're doing these as a salad extra, but they'd be great on top of the pad thai we're going to make as well. Again, just as a bit of a snack. Now we're missing an acid from here, so if you wanted to put a little bit of lime juice in there, you could as well. But I'm assuming that these are going to go onto a salad that will have acid in it anyway. So you don't necessarily always have to add fat, acid, salt, sweet in every element of what you're making, just as long as overall it's got all those elements. Again, we'll just spread them out so they don't stick together too much, and so the air can get around them and dry them out fully. Okay, so I'll pop those in the dehydrator, then we'll come back and we'll see what they look like once they're dried. So here's our tamarind and maple cashews out of the dehydrator, and as you can see they're nice and dry to the touch, completely dried up, all the maple syrup. You're going to get a little bit where they've kind of clumped together, you're going to get maybe a little bit of stickiness underneath, but these are great and we'll use these on a salad later on.